You are listening to the Workbench After Hours podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to the Second Amendment, where we talk about firearms, everything going on in the gun community, and we even try a different whiskey every week.
On this week's episode, we are discussing Massachusetts' new bill, HD.4420, and we are trying Isaac Bowman Whiskey of the Week.
Welcome back to the Workbench After Hours podcast. Chris is going to tell us about this whiskey we're trying this week.
Well, the whiskey of the week is Isaac Bowman. It's a small batch port finished barrel. So they first aged it in charred white oak barrels before finishing it in port barrels. So they said you're supposed to get some like fruitiness, your caramel and spicy notes.
What's the proof on this?
92, so 46% alcohol.
Did they say what it was aged for, matured for?
They don't say. They just said it's for many years.
That's what a lot of them are saying.
Either matured for years, but many years. I don't know what many.
Appropriate number of years.
Yeah. They can't give you just give me the number of years you do it.
4.
Yeah.
Well, we won't say that because you'll think it's a young whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
definitely
got a burn on that one.
Yeah.
Ouch. All right.
It's definitely darker in color too.
It is.
It almost, like when I poured it, it kind of reminded me of like a wine, like a white wine a little bit. Or like a rosé.
Definitely. I mean, there's caramel, but man, there's a lot of just
Spice.
because my nose burns every time I sniff in. It's like, woo.
Yeah, it's weird.
I guess I can get some jam on that. Maybe some.
A little bit, not much. I get a lot of spice and caramel or caramel.
Yeah. Wow, that's spicy.
Yeah, it is. It does have some fruit flavor, though. Even on the front and then the back end, you get a lot of it.
It's funny because that Elijah Craig rye that we tried had a lot of spice, but it was more baking spice.
Yeah.
This has a different spice to it.
Yeah, it's a lot different. I'm getting a lot of the fruits, though, now, in the flavor. Mm-hmm. Like, you're getting that jam. I'm tasting like grape jam.
Yeah,
It's different.
Yeah.
It's very different.
I'm interested to see what putting this on a rocks is going to do because it like gives you a punch when you first try it, I think. Mm-hmm. It's like a bam, here's all the spice.
It's all the spice, and on the back end, it gives you that smooth, like, fruit jam flavor. It's wow. I was not expecting that.
So what did this one run?
I think I got it for 44.
Okay.
Because I've been looking for the John J. Bowman, which is their single barrel, but it's the same batch profile as Blanton. So I want to see and compare apples to apples.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had Blanton's, though.
Yeah, not for me. I've been drinking a lot of it.
Oh, man, must be nice.
I got that other barrel with that other bottle now, so I can actually enjoy my one.
You know, if you do find that, you should bring it over, and we'll have to see how close it is.
That's what I want to do. Like, if I do find the John J. Bowman, I will do that.
So this is Virginia.
Yeah.
A little bit different for us.
And they got another one, a small batch. It's called the Bowman Brothers. Mm-hmm. So I guess a lot of these were like military. They were in the military, I guess. So that's why, I don't know, during the Revolutionary War,
right?
Way before our time, back when our founding fathers actually ran our country and fought for it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how they would feel in today and what's going on with the Democrats.
Yeah.
But I think if you're new in the whiskey, this one might, I don't know.
I don't know, because it does have like a sweet after.
Yeah, but that initial
spice is kind of, it punches you.
Yeah, I'm like, whoo. It's good. I like it. But
it's good because it's different, I think, because you're not used to that fruitiness.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. We'll see if the spice goes away and we get a lot of fruit.
Yeah, I think it'll take away
some of the spice.
A good chunk of the spice. Maybe bring out some more of that caramel. Maybe some of the fruits.
Yeah, the jam. I'm definitely getting like grape jam on it.
Yeah. It's different. It kind of coats your tongue a little bit too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I know we had the ammunition. You bought me a bottle on my birthday. I think it was the cab.
Yep.
Finishing the cab ones. It's been a while since I've had that, but I like that. And then I got a different one that's in the Pinot bottle barrels. We need to try that.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. It seems like there's a lot more coming out that they move into
A different barrel of some sort.
kind of like a wine barrel or something.
I wonder why they do that. I wonder if the people just bitch too much about the spice
I don't
of
know.
regular whiskey or what.
Just to give it a different flavor profile.
Charge you more money.
Right? There was one that we saw the other day where it was finished in rum casks.
Yeah, that would. I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Yeah, don't knock it until you try it, I guess.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we'll pour this on the rocks and see what it does.
Yeah.
While we talk about freaking Massachusetts.
Oh man.
So while this is about this bill in Massachusetts that I honestly don't think is going to go anywhere, just because it's kind of stalled at the moment they stalled it until I think August. But that may be for a reason. Who knows?
Yeah.
But this is just getting worse. Every seems like month we see a different gun bill coming from those Democratic states, and most of them have been on the West Coast recently. Well, this one just got introduced in Massachusetts, and it's a doozy to read. First of all, it is so it's the Massachusetts House Bill number 4420. And if you pull up the bill, it is 142 pages. Oh. So I did not read this entirely. Actually, I only kind of skimmed through it. This is the most strictest gun control that there is or would be. I know we've said that several times with the Washington and Oregon one, but this one far exceeds that. This would make Massachusetts the strictest state as far as gun control goes, passing California, which is bad.
Yeah.
And what sucks is I really like Massachusetts. I love going to Boston. We go there all the time. We have family back there. I love the history. I love the food, especially the north end of Boston, my favorite little spot to go. But I could never live there because of just their gun laws now. Then you bring in the stuff that they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's what a Commonwealth state, too.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Those Commonwealth states are kind of weird. I know Virginia, when I lived there, was a Commonwealth, and some of the laws, just like, what in the world? And they don't go away.
Yeah. You can't defend yourself with a firearm pretty much.
Oh, that's crazy. Our founding fathers would be turning in their grave.
That's why I hate going on those tours about all these cool tours. Hey, and then you go to the bars where this is where, George Washington probably had a drink or Paul Revere and all this stuff. But if you look at the government now, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is what they tried to kind of warn us about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happening in the state, which sucks. You think, I get it happening on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But having it be like this in the states that started the union, like, man, people need to wake up.
Yep.
Think about the way you vote.
That and think about history.
Right.
How it repeats itself.
So did you do any research on this bill sent before?
I've heard a little bit about it. I haven't done any research, though.
Okay. So we're not going to go entirely in depth on this because, one, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Who knows? But probably not. And then it's so long and it's so ridiculous almost. Like, for example, those shooting silhouettes, the targets, that's like a silhouette of a person.
Yeah.
Like just the outline is
pretty much every target.
Yeah. You can't shoot one of those.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, because you're shooting at what is deemed the shape of a human, and what they propose a gun is, they redefine a firearm. So
I need to quit redefining things.
But yeah, you can't even shoot the silhouette target.
Well, how would you shoot a regular target, even if it was just circles? Because that can use. Oh, that's a head.
Well, so I'm sure like SWAT and the police and stuff use those silhouette targets because they are shooting at people.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to use that?
What about the military?
Right.
Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's something else. So I'm going to pull it up on screen here real quick. So you'll see it's 142 pages long, and it's just a bunch of ridiculous stuff. I pulled up a couple different things, basically some places that summarize it. Yeah, so they redefine what a firearm is. So it's now a generic term to mean any type of gun, including stun guns.
Wow.
So what used to be non-lethal self-protection, what have you,
So does that
you
mean,
have to register a stun gun like you would any other firearm.
So that means you'd have to do like extension cords and stuff because those can technically be stun guns under right circumstances.
It's yeah, it's bad. Yeah, the new term considers the frame or receiver of the barrel to be legally a firearm. That means any of these components must meet every criteria, including safe storage and transportation as a working firearm. If you're under 21, you can no longer possess a firearm or be in the possession of one. A junior shooter, they call it a junior shooter. So if you're under 21, you're a junior shooter, not allowed to possess or use semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. Like you've always said, you can go fight for your country at 18, but you won't be able to own a gun until you're 21 as a civilian.
That's crazy to me just because at 18, you can also be tried as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to come up with, okay, what is a true adult then at this point? Are you 21 then? Is that a true adult? Or is it 18?
Right.
Because if it's 18, then they need to make that the law for, I think, everything. And it all comes back to culture and how our culture is. But that's crazy to me.
So they redefine a few things too, other than a firearm, a feeding device, any magazine, belt, strip, drum, or similar device that holds ammunition for a firearm, whether fixed or detachable. Fixed magazine is an ammunition feeding device contained in, permanently attached to a firearm, such in the manner that the device cannot be removed without disassembly from the firearm. So what you have to do is not only do you have to register all your firearms under this bill, you have to register anything that falls under there.
So a nail gun would, or a stapler
Right.
would technically be a gun. If you think about it.
It's got, yeah.
I mean, really.
It's got a feeding device too.
Yeah.
There'd be a registry of your firearms, but then your magazines too. And your stun gun.
And probably your nail gun now.
Yeah, and then they have the whole safe storage in there, and then they go after the 3D printed guns, these ghost guns. You have to register those within 7 days of making those. So under the new definition of a firearm, barrel, receiver, or frame are legally considered parts to be a firearm. This would mean that each part would have to be serialized in Massachusetts before assembly.
I know, like, we'd have to have a manufacturer license to build something like that. I wonder if they have something like that too.
And then what about all the collectible firearms? Like the ones that are worth a lot of money?
Yeah.
Putting a new serial number on every part is going to devalue those like crazy.
Yeah.
Move out of Massachusetts.
Come to the great Midwest.
Yep. Mandatory registration of all individual firearms, receivers, frames, barrels, and feeding devices. So I wonder if you have just a extra barrel.
Yeah.
You got to register that and have it serialized.
And all your magazines. Jesus Christ.
That would suck. I have a lot of magazines.
Yeah.
Like, I got a lot.
Most guns come with 3 magazines.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh my God, that'd be a nightmare.
So now, you know how a lot of them, if they have like over 10 rounds, it says not California compliant?
Yeah.
We're going to have to put no go to Massachusetts.
Yeah. Jesus.
There's a lot of new stuff regarding being a licensed firearms dealer that they do as well. But
I would just move at that point.
Oh, yeah. If you're you can't be in the guns, be a Pro 2A, and honestly live in Massachusetts now because they got strict gun law. But then this would be even the police don't want this bill to go through.
Oh, I don't blame them.
Because they're like, this is way unconstitutional, and plus the headache that it's going to bring them trying to enforce
paper trail that you'd have
everything.
to have,
Oh my
serial
God.
numbers.
Yep.
Because you got to think there are mistakes with just serializing things too.
Uh-huh.
Like you could miss it by one number or finger F the serial number when inputting it and get it all messed up.
Well, and the manpower to register everything and do the paperwork.
Yeah, that'd be, oh man.
Like if you think about just between you and I,
Just move the whole ATF to mass then. That's
Right.
That'll be their direct job is mass.
it's going to be all those new IRS guys that got hired
Yeah,
doing this. But if you take the guns that just you and I have, the receivers lying around, And then, because I got extra barrels and stuff,
Yeah.
plus all of our magazines, trying to do the paperwork to register all of those would be a freaking nightmare. And then having to serialize everything,
Yeah.
putting a serial number on all your magazines.
And frames, barrels. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That'd be just ridiculous.
You must have permission. You must have prior permission from the state to build or modify any firearm, frame, receiver, barrel, and feeding device. Even simply replacing a set of grips on a competition handgun will require previous permission and potential re-registration for changing out the hand grips.
That is, oh my God.
Wow.
That's a little ridiculous.
You know how we made fun of Michael Moore for what he...
Yeah.
This makes his bill look like
Yeah.
nothing.
There's an amendment that he wanted.
Oh my God. Privately made guns must be registered within 7 days. Requires providing to the state an itemized list of parts if modifying or building a gun. So if you, again, just change the things, want to change like your barrel, if you want to swap that out, God, you'd have to be like, hey, can I please do this?
That would be stupid. Like, what happens? Like, say you destroy your barrel. Why couldn't you? What's stopping someone from copying the serial number and putting it on a new barrel, let alone grips or a frame?
I don't know.
Like, if something happens,
Yeah, that's...
how would they prove that?
I don't know if there's a way that they're going to limit what you can purchase
Well, that
or keep track of that.
I don't know, because that'd be kind of weird. If you got to serialize everything, most manufacturers aren't going to serialize your barrel for you unless you ask for it to be engraved or pay an extra fee for it.
That's what they would have to do. If you still want to do business in the state as a manufacturer, you'd have to offer that for an additional cost,
Yeah.
which sucks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, because they can do that, but they can't eat that cost.
That, and who's going to be in charge of these serial numbers? Is it the person, the state, the FFL? Who? Because if it's a person, anybody can, all right, 0001. How many 001 serial numbers are going to be out there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I
You're
don't
going
even
to
know
have to become a manufacturer at that point and then have designated serial numbers, almost like IP addresses for networking for your guns and gun parts.
Yeah, that's why this is so out there, and there's just not the manpower, hell, even in the U.S. government to do this.
Yeah.
Let alone just a state. So it's crazy. And, you know, so there's no exemptions from, if you travel to the state or through a state, there's no exemptions of anything that says about registering for those traveling through the state in direct violation of the law. So if you're traveling through and you don't have a serialized number on your magazines or whatever, there's nothing in there that says
I guess I just won't go there.
with the gun.
Avoid it.
I like to go there. Like that's one of our favorite destinations to go, but I do not bring anything firearm related with me.
That would suck. Like if you had, like, say you were flying somewhere and you had to stop through there, through like TSA, and you're going to like a shooting event. That would suck.
So a license holder must present their license to law enforcement on demand, even if they do not currently possess or even own a firearm. This is a stop and frisk for the Second Amendment.
What?
A license holder must present their license to law enforcement on demand. So I guess you have to have a license to get these.
But what if, even if you don't possess or own one, you'd have to show a license? So what are they going to make you do when you do your driver's license? Have to also apply for this?
Yeah, so you do have to have a license because it goes down here and has some stuff for like retailers. Retailers are required to confiscate any expired license presented to them.
I wonder if it's like at the Void card up in Illinois
Probably.
where they do the background check. That would suck though. But what if even if you don't want to own one, why would you have to have it?
So you have to be a licensed retailer to sell any or all feeding devices. So it's not like I could just sell you my magazine.
That's stupid.
Got to be licensed to do that.
I wonder how hard it would be to get these license, you know?
I think it's pretty hard, actually. There's a training that you have to take. There's a written exam of unknown content so far. Injury prevention and harm reduction education. Active shooter and emergency response training when lawful gun owners are not allowed to carry in most places under this bill. Live firearms training to be determined by the state police.
I wonder if they're going to start doing like the military where you shoot so many rounds in a certain amount of time, almost like your concealed carry.
Yeah, this is I'll try and put this up on the man. No,
I don't know
thank
how
you.
this would pass. This is so unconstitutional. Like this violates the Second Amendment on so many levels.
Anyone under 15 is banned from handling any handgun, semi-automatic rifle, or semi-automatic shotgun.
So how are you supposed to go
you,
hunt?
You can't take your son to go shoot a Ruger 1022.
Like, how are you going to teach your kids how to shoot and hunt?
There's no more grandfathering in assault style firearms.
What's a style?
That's the new definition.
There's no such thing.
That's one thing in this bill is they changed it to instead of just assault rifles or whatever, it's assault style firearms. So if it's got any type of style of it.
Every gun's got its own style, though.
So this is going back to the 1994 gun ban or assault weapons ban. You can't own anything legally possessed after that. And then it tells you all these places that you can't carry a gun, and then you have to have permission and all this stuff. And so there's a lot to it. There's several websites that have like stuff on it like these, but if you read this bill, reading through the bill, it lists a lot of guns that would be banned, which falls under their new definition, but it lists like everything pretty much.
I saw 22 on there.
Like, look at all that stuff. So that's that. So it just, I don't want to go through it in detail because it's just crazy.
That is nuts.
That what we've talked about is only a small part of it.
You'd have to register everything you have in your house.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, even a assault gun to kill flies, you'd probably have to register. Because it has a barrel and a frame and a trigger.
Yeah, that's
What about
true.
your kids' guns?
Yeah.
Because cap guns, they hold...
If you have to do it with a stun gun that doesn't even look like a gun.
Yeah.
It has buttons that you press and...
Yeah. They said anything with a barrel, frame, or receiver.
What about your...
Nerf guns.
Like your Nerf guns, your airsoft guns, your water gun?
Yeah. That would be... Oh, my God.
It seems like the left was really skirting a fine line of, oh, we want to strip... We don't want to ban the guns. We just want to take away the ARs,
everything.
ARs, AKs, and stuff like that. But now they're just like flat out.
We want everything.
Yes.
So China can take over.
Because
Russia.
They're not holding back anymore from what we've seen. All these new things. They don't want us to have anything. And that's funny because that's the state
Where our founding fathers.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's massive. And okay, so heavily Democratic state. What are some other heavy Democratic states? We're gonna forget New York, New Jersey, just because it's
Illinois,
difficult to own a gun there.
California,
Washington, Oregon.
So every place that has gun control that doesn't work, pretty much.
Yeah, criminals follow gun laws.
Yeah, they're gonna be really interesting to see because I'm pretty sure our Constitution says we can overthrow our government if they're being.
According to Joe Biden, you need an F-16.
Joe Biden doesn't even know what America means. He can't even define it in one word.
He probably can't even spell it.
No.
Since obviously the federal government can't get anything passed.
They're trying to go state level and get things passed.
And stuff at the state level is worse.
And the problem, if you keep pissing people off, they're eventually going to move out of these states and they're just going to go bankrupt. And then what do those states do? No one's going to want to come into your state because either violence is going to be so out of control. People aren't going to risk putting businesses there. They're just going to crumble.
But if this goes into effect, there's going to be no crime.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Because you can't really own a gun, so why would there be crime?
Oh no, let's go back and look at all these riots that were peaceful, but yet they were burning down cities and coming up with autonomous zones, killing people.
Oh, but that's fine. That's just their freedom of speech.
Well,
they have
their
right
freedom
to
of speech is about to be that.
Yeah.
In these states. And then they're going to wonder why can't we get businesses to come here? Why can't we have an economy? Well, you destroyed it. Congratulations.
So say that you lived in a state in this past. And
I'm moving.
all your family was there. It was a state you loved.
Bye. I'm out. It's either that or I'm going to go overthrow the government and start my own militia. Because I'm pretty sure there's more guns in that state than they even know about. And I'm pretty sure they could overthrow that government.
Yeah. Because then you have the government, but then you have, so obviously the military, which, okay, let's say about half of them would
I don't even think that.
comply. But then you have the reserves. You're going to have ones that will just follow
You took
orders.
a note to protect the Constitution of the United States of America.
We've seen that there's some people that serve in the military that think civilians should not own the same type of weapons, which we don't own the same type of weapons, but
Nope,
you know,
we
the
don't.
civilian versions, like they're like the Budapest guy served in the military, totally against us owning semi-automatic rifles.
Here's the thing, though. If we took a vote right now, and I saw this online, like, out of all the guns in the world, you know how many of those guns or what the percentage is just in America? Out of the whole world.
Whole world.
What's the percentage that of the American citizens own, do you think? What percentage?
I would say 68%.
It's pretty close. We're about like 60% we own of all the guns in the world is the American citizens.
Now, how do they calculate that though? Because I'm sure in a lot of states with like militias and stuff, like, you know, everything that's going on in Africa, how do you count? Like, how do you?
I'm
keep
sure
track
they
of all
don't.
that?
I just heard they probably do it based off sales. And
So the legally owned firearms.
yeah, legally.
So this isn't the black market.
Yeah,
What's being used
this
by
is
militia.
just legal.
Yeah.
Let's think about that.
And then you got all the states
You've got
wanting to do
American
this shit.
citizens with over half the population of all guns in the world.
Well,
We're
then,
not just talking about U.S. We're talking about the world.
right.
And the American citizens have over half in their hands. You don't think we can't overthrow a government?
We just need to vote different.
That or get them out completely and start from scratch and go back to our roots. Someone that believes in the Constitution and follows the Constitution.
Okay, so there's all this talk about overthrowing the government. How do you go about doing that?
I don't know. Look at January 6th. Apparently, they were too scared to even come out and
Right.
do anything. So I'm pretty sure it's been easy. And that was without any weapons. I mean, look, they just raided the Capitol.
Right.
You telling us how are they going to stop a whole state of people to do that?
I don't know.
They couldn't. And then the military can't be going in there and doing it because it's against the Constitution. So,
It's not against the reserves to do it though, right?
yeah, they still swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That includes a government. Yes, you got to obey the orders of the president, but if he becomes a domestic terrorist and he doesn't follow the Constitution, you can overthrow.
You know what Joe Biden would do though is he would say anybody that is trying to overtake the government is then a domestic terrorist, and then at that point he's going to order the
because
military.
the Constitution says that we're allowed to overthrow a tyrannical government.
But at that point he doesn't think he's a tyrannical government.
Well, that's him. He became a dictatorship at that point.
You're gonna have. I think there's gonna be 50-50 on the military,
Probably.
which ones that are gonna follow the orders from him, and then the others that are like,
So that you're going to
well,
bust out into a full-fledged civil war, and we'll pretty sure we know who's going to overcome that. I guarantee it ain't going to be no gun-controlled
It's not gonna
freaking
be those hippies, anti-gun
Yeah.
hippies.
Guarantee they're going to be ones crying, "We need guns, we need protection. What do we do?"
All those Karens.
Yeah. Terminator Karens.
Yeah. But before we go to that extent, just remember to vote correctly in 2024. And that's just that federal. This
And here's the thing.
at state.
Do your homework. Don't listen to the freaking media.
Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah, because the media is going to tell you what they want. They got their own agenda. They're getting paid to push agendas. It's kind of crazy. I saw a clip where every media station said the exact same thing. How is that possible? Just saying.
Yeah. Well, then with AI now, what can you believe?
Yeah, you need to go out and do your research.
Like I've seen a bunch of, funny videos on AI of Trump and like
Yeah.
and
And
Biden
Biden.
going back and
Yeah.
forth. It sounds a lot like him.
Well, you know it's not Biden because it's actually complete sentences.
Right. But how do you know what's on social media, it may not be like a national news thing, but like social media, a lot of people try and get their news from social media. How are you going to know
You can't go after social media.
what's true or fake? Because it's so hard to determine now with AI.
It is.
And it's only going to get worse.
It's dangerous. But you can't believe everything you see on the media. That's all I'm going to say. Go do your homework. Don't vote because...
You know what we should do? We should have Chat GTP or whatever it is write
our script and make us sound like Joe Biden and Trump.
No. Be like, hey, write a gun control bill and see what it comes up with.
That'd be scary. Like, what if it came back we can't because it's unconstitutional?
Yeah, right.
I would laugh my ass off.
No, be like
AI even knows.
I don't know. Is it something you type in or
you give it you give it a parameter. It usually has like a thing and you put in like you could throw in the Constitution and be like, all right, can you make a gun bill based off this document, a gun control bill?
I wonder what it would come up with.
Like yeah, put up the Second Amendment and say, what gun control bill could I write off of this?
Don't give anybody Joe Biden any ideas.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But that's how I do resumes. Sometimes I'll throw up the job description and I'll throw up my resume too. Be like, off this job description and my resume, make my resume fit this job description. You got to be pretty direct with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's only going to get crazier and crazier.
Yep. It's nutty. Nutty.
I know this one company wants me to try out their new software that has some IA for AI. God, IA. I'm thinking my main job, we have IAs. AI for making shorts and stuff like that. Like they'll take long form content like this, and then it'll figure out what are the main topics and like what would be cool to put on like Instagram Reel or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I hate trying to like doing anything outside of YouTube. I hate doing because it's a pain in the butt. Like trying to keep up and doing stuff in Instagram, which
all the hashtags and all that bull crap.
It's such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it is.
I've tried to do some stuff, but I'm like trying to post something to every different social media. You have to have it in a different format. It can only be a certain length. It's so...
And it's all owned by Meta.
Yeah.
Which you would think they'd be the same.
But this AI thing is supposed to make it a lot easier. So I got to try it out. That's why we're back in this setup. So this is actually the Shotgun Studio YouTube channel set up now. So I got to do some videos for that channel. So I figured...
Go back
I already had it set up. We'll just do this podcast from the old setup.
Yeah.
Gunwall's still over there.
Yep.
Again, if you want, if you have seen our previous podcast with the Gunwall and like that, check out tacticalwalls.com.
What's the code?
BST10 for 10% off. We got it right this time.
Yeah.
We've been struggling with that.
Yeah, we have.
But yeah, I'm doing a gun show this weekend in Topeka. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be the next Saturday, the day after Saturday. Man, the last probably 3 or 4 gun shows have been extremely slow.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this one is busier because right now there's no football going on or anything like that.
Baseball's a waste to watch right
There's
now.
no holidays, so hopefully people are looking for guns. What sucks is people you either go there for looking something that you cannot find. Like that is old and not made anymore. You can only find at gun shows. Because a lot of people are just freaking buying stuff online.
Yeah.
It's like they'll come to a table and be like, oh, I can buy it for the same price online. And then they just walk away.
And they don't realize I got to pay taxes online. I got to wait for shipping. Then I got to go to an FFL for transfer. So really, it's better just to get it right there.
Yeah. Technically, I have to charge tax. But... no shipping, no transfer fee. Yeah. Even if it's a little bit more expensive, you got to factor that in.
And you don't have to wait for it. You can get it right then and there.
Yeah, exactly. You get to see the one that you're going to get.
Hold it and then take it home with you.
It's funny. People don't get that.
I know. We were talking about that today at work. Like, we were talking about how the city, like where we work, they want to keep giving us like food trucks, like once a month or whatnot. And I was like, I'd rather just have money. The money that you're wasting on the food truck, just put it all together in one big pot for those 4 or 5 months that you're doing it and give us like a quarterly bonus or something.
Right.
Instead of wasting thousands of dollars on food. Like, I don't need a freaking food truck.
I will tell you, food truck food is
Some of it's good, but like if you think about it, like a company with like 1,500 at $12 a head, that's a lot of money that adds up.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing it for like 2-3 days every week for like 3-4 months. That's like a whole other salary.
Yeah.
You can give bonuses out for that, and that'd be more beneficial because it's putting food on the plate for my family.
Instead of just in your belly.
Yeah, just my belly at lunch where I got to clock out for.
Right.
Like, and wait in line for it. And half the time when they don't have stuff where they got to go back to their store and get more food.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't think that way. Oh, I'd rather have food trucks. No, I'd rather have just the money. Give me the money instead.
Buy the gun now.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Just crazy how people think these days.
Yep. I need to unload some inventory since Chris won't buy any of my guns. I know there's one sitting over there that he wants. Actually, two that he wants.
There's two that I want, and I'm waiting. Yeah, I know.
Why wait?
So the wife will be happy.
She doesn't have to know about it.
Oh, she'll know about it.
How?
She goes down to the safe. What's this one? Oh, what's this?
Just put it
Or
in
if
the
she
back
checks the
and-
account and it's just randomly a couple $100 missing.
You bought some new shoes.
Yeah.
She knows you'll spend money on shoes.
Yeah. I've been trying not to.
Yeah.
I've been slowing that spending habit down.
So what do you think of this whiskey on the rocks?
It changes it. It takes away the spice completely. It's really fruity.
Yeah. Not even a whole lot of caramel.
No, it's mostly fruit tasting now.
Mm-hmm.
You got rid of all the spice.
Yeah. It not just a little bit, like
All of it.
it's all gone.
I almost prefer it neat than on the rocks.
Yeah.
Because even neat, you still get a little bit of that heat, but it's not like overpowering. At first, yes, if you're first hit, but after that, you're like, you expect it.
What about if you had just like a cold glass and that way it didn't get watered down?
Yeah, maybe. I'd try that.
Wonder how that would be.
I bet that'd be pretty good.
Alan's got something that does.
Freezes it and puts it in
It's
the
got like
freezer.
an ice, like half an ice cube, and
Yeah, I
you
saw
put
that.
whiskey on the other side, and somehow it doesn't water it down.
Yeah, he did it with his Frank Sinatra Select.
Yeah,
And I was like, I don't think I would do that.
but it doesn't water it down.
Yeah.
We could try those things your brother gave us. Those
The little bullets.
yeah, I don't have
Frozen
any,
bullets.
I don't think I have any cold. I might downstairs actually.
I don't know. We could try it.
Yeah, I think just the water, making it cold might not have done that, but with the
Water
down.
And definitely gets rid of that heat
Yeah,
and spice.
but definitely something I'd recommend trying.
Yeah, it's different.
Like it.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
Be good on a nice fall day, I think. Would be pretty good.
yeah. Fall or winter.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Whiskey's good no matter what time of
What
year
season
it
is.
Is it after 5 o'clock? Give me some
It's
whiskey.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Just not Bell Mead. Don't give me Bell Mead or jukebox.
Yep. Ooh,
Yuck.
that was rough.
Yeah, I'm good on those.
I think I'd rather drink the McCormick's cheap whiskey before those.
Yikes.
That's pretty bad.
Is that going to show up on the whiskey of the week as McCormick's?
I hope not.
We bartended, and that was our well.
Ooh.
I even because I would mix it with Coke. 'Cause
Yeah.
we would have a drink every now and then while everybody was dancing. I loved it when they had Jack.
Oh, Jack.
I'm like, hell yeah, give me some Jack. Throw some Coke in there. When they had McCormick's, I'm like, oh,
Ugh.
it's going to be tough.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not a fan,
I'm tired of my high expensive taste anymore.
right?
It sucks going to these liquor stores. Oh, I've had that. I've had that. I've had that. I haven't had that, but that's $150. Don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that one because that's $100. Fuck.
Well, that Russell's 10, I've seen it several places now to where instead of being in the low 30s.
50s now.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened? I keep looking over here because I had Russell's single barrel, and I want to try that. They got their 6-year rye too.
We had that on the podcast.
I know, but there's also a 10-year I want. Or not 10-year, the 15-year.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to find that too.
Alan brought over the single barrel, and we had it. I had him try the Elijah Craig rye. And then we also tried that new riff.
Yeah. Just okay.
I don't know if it's going to make it on as a whiskey of the week. It was not impressive.
Yeah.
But
I got some 4 rows of single barrel that we need to try.
yep. I really want to try this Blade and Bow.
Yeah. Yep. I'm hoping on this trip I can find some Jack Daniel's 10-year and 12-year.
I doubt you will.
You never know. I am going to whiskey country.
Yeah, and I did too. And every place said it's on their raffle
Really?
list. Yeah. A lot of them just had signs posted.
Really?
So that way they're tired of people asking. So you'll notice that.
Maybe I should just run to the Jack Daniel's store,
I told you.
distillery.
I told you.
I'm hoping to find Eagle Rare, some Blanton's. I definitely want the Jack. I'm also looking for just the plain Jack Daniel's, the McLaren edition. It's a different bottle. It's like the black and orange. I want to find that.
All right, if you find Blanton's for MSRP,
Oh, I'm buying a couple.
buy
of
it
them.
and I'll Venmo you or
Yeah.
Venmo your wife, whatever. Since
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
buying
do
a
Venmo.
couple. Yeah, I'll buy a couple. I'm hoping to find more than just the single barrel Blanton. I want to find like a gold or something. Gotta try some new
That
things.
black label.
Yeah.
The green one that's in John Wick. I watched John Wick, the final
Four?
Did
You see the bottle of Blanton's in it?
He freaking died.
I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead.
You think that was just to make him so he could retire?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But did you see the bottle of Blanton's they had in it?
Yeah, I did.
I was like,
Yeah.
they had
Right.
like every region he went, they had like Japanese whiskey or Blanton's.
Is there a number 5 in the works?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's not dead.
So he's not dead. They've already talked about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Watched it one night by myself because my wife didn't want to watch it.
Oh, it's so good.
And I'm like, what? They killed him off?
He don't die.
He should have died many, many times ago.
Yeah, those were like 400 people going after him.
Yeah. Well, and those bulletproof suits,
Fuck.
man.
I saw there's a guy, they actually made one. Took him a year to make. They tested like different Kevlars to see what would be because they wanted to light his suit and everything. And it actually worked.
Yeah, but you're not gonna just be able to be like fighting like that, take a shot and be fine. And
Yeah.
you're like, even if you get hit with a bulletproof vest,
Yeah, you're going to feel it.
that's gonna break a couple ribs. It's gonna knock the wind out of you. You're gonna
Yeah.
be down. You're not gonna be able to keep fighting somebody.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video though about it. Like they made their own John Wick suit.
Right.
And it's fucking badass.
Well, then he pulled it over his face, and people were
Yeah.
shooting at his face, and he was not even.
Yeah.
It's like the bullets.
I'm pretty sure it would break your freaking arm or something.
Yeah. Oh, the suits never had marks on them though.
Yeah.
It's like the bullets just ricocheted off of them. A little out there, but
Hey,
Still pretty
you
cool.
never know.
yeah.
He's a freaking bad
I'm sure.
motherfucker.
I'm sure we can't have those because then the government will want to ban those.
Let's just make them. Let's go back to like the 20s. I'd love to be back in the 20s where they're all wearing like 3-piece suits looking like badasses.
Yep. And then I'd skip the 30s,
Yeah.
skip the 40s, and go straight to the 50s.
Yep.
So that way you bypass the Great Depression and World War II.
Yeah. But I think the 20s would be baller status.
Yeah.
Then we can have full auto guns because they didn't have laws back then.
Yeah. Not until the 30
Yep.
something.
Tommy guns, here we come.
Then you got to deal with prohibition.
Yeah.
There's ways around that,
Yep. They did it back then. We can do it now.
right? Yeah.
Go back in time. We'll go back in time with what we got.
Make friends with Jack Daniel.
Yeah. Don't kick your fucking safe.
Right.
You need to stay alive.
Exactly.
Write your combo like underneath your desk or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Get to become friends with all the distillers back then.
But you'll never know what it
Yeah.
went to. Yeah, I think if I had to choose a time to go back to and live, I think it'd be the 50s, like right after the war, because I mean, you had the cars back then were cool.
Yeah, the big wings and
Yeah,
the
new technology
Bel
was
Airs.
coming out, so you were getting. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that'd be a cool time. I love the music and just I don't know. I love the style
Yeah.
of everything back then from the 50s, and then the early 60s. But then once you start getting into the hippie days, and then,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good. 70s, nah. 80s, been there, done that.
90s,
Yeah,
2000s. Whew. Now, oh hell no.
yeah,
Stay away.
yep.
If the only thing I would do if I did go back in like the 80s, I would be investing in Apple, Microsoft, and come back and just be multi-billionaire.
You know what I would do is I would go back to like the Civil War or the Revolutionary War, but bring a couple of the full automatic guns with me and
ARs.
just
Spray.
Like-
Pop, 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 pop.
let me go. I got this, guys. Hang back.
Yeah. I'll get them from a mile.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like we'll win this real fast.
Yeah.
Send those redcoats home.
I don't need to see their eyelids. I just need to see shadows.
Yep. Like what?
their mask.
That'd be badass.
Go back in time and then write it in the Constitution. Assault rifles are.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's all I had this week is just talking about that stupid bill that hopefully, fingers crossed, won't go anywhere.
Hopefully.
But there's going to be more just like that are going to keep popping up. We just have to
Unfortunately.
keep writing your senators and telling people no.
Nope, I do not comply.
Just say no. So, anything else, Chris? Yeah.
Nope. I think that's about it.
Taking a break next week because this guy's going to be out of town whiskey hunting.
Yep. Sorry.
What would it be?
I'll try to bring us back something good.
That's all right. I got to work on some Shotgun Studio stuff anyway. So,
Yeah.
take a break next week, and then we'll be back following probably, or
Yep.
maybe the next. I don't know. Depends on the schedule. So, maybe a week or two, but we will be back.
Yep.
Hopefully with some new whiskey, Blanton's. Hopefully you do find some Blanton's, and then also that other stuff that you were talking about. And
John J. Brown.
we can do a comparison.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right, Chris, you have some homework to do. Find me some Blanton's. And you.
Yep.
But while you do that, what else are you going to do?
Remember, this is a YouTube podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and tickle that bell. If you're listening on any other platform such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, any of those listening devices, remember to like and follow. And with that, have a good one.